Hello, we members from Group 1 will provide a report on the P5 activities we participated in. I am Hazel.
I am Alma.
And I am Sharon.
And I am Kenji. First, we went to the Jatibarang Reservoir and PDAM to observe the surrounding environment and take water samples. On the 15th of May, we conducted a visit to Waduk, Jatibarang and PDAM respectively. First, we visited Waduk, Jatibarang, where we observed the living things and the ecosystem of the reservoir and took water samples for our study. On Waduk, Jatibarang, we done a pH test for each group, so we had to bottle each students. We took a sample from the dam and test the pH of the water. Next, we went to PDAM. There, we learned about how tap water in Indonesia is processed. The technology they used is such as SCADA, and how the filtration process is done. Then we took the sample back to the lab and do some experiments.
Our first experiment is the pH test. What is the pH test exactly? Well, to put it simply, it's a test done to measure the acidity levels of water. The neutral level is 7, and the higher the level, meaning the less acidic it is. Based on our test, we can conclude that the water from Waduk Jatibarang and from PDAM fall into the basic category because their levels range from 8 to 10 respectively.
Salinity tests are the improvement of pH test, and it's the same, and the tool we use refractometer to analysis. The first thing that we do and is place 3 drops of our sample on the refractometer, and then you can see the salinity level of the water. The results show the water has no salt content, meaning they are fresh water.
We carry out was a microscope on treated and untreated PDAM water and Waduk Jatibarang water. The first thing we observed was the Waduk Jatibarang water. When we observed, we found microorganisms, namely algae and algae stems.
We saw something moving on the algae stems. Can you see it clearly? Anyway, it was thick and long. The scales looked like a snake.
Sample 1, the untreated PDAM water, we look and we saw a microorganism. Of course, we saw some of that were moving too. And secondly, PDAM water that had been treated. When we look at it, there was no dirt or anything like that. We only saw a small.
Based on our discussions, we can conclude a few things. Firstly is that based on the pH test we took, the water falls into the basic category. Secondly is that the water is fresh water because they have no salt content. The third one is that based on our microscopic organism test, we see that the common things we saw using the microscope are either algae or planktons, like zooplanktons for example. And lastly, based on our survey around the areas of Waduk Jatibarang and PDAM, we see that the living things there are commonly insects, flowers, fish, and trees.
That is all for our group. We hope to be able to conduct complex and more studies in the future. Thank you.